Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today's new live stream and video is I drink beer, you ask NFL questions. I'm watching my favorite show right now on FXX, The Simpsons. You know I'm watching it. I got the background. I got the thumbnail. I figured I got a little bit of time to watch a little NFL Network, watch a little bit of Simpsons, taking some time out of my day for myself. But I wanted to make sure I hop online and you guys can hang out with your boys. So let me get it started off. Hopefully I have the bottle opener here. And like I said, this was something that was kind of last minute. It's not that really anything planned. I figured that, there'll be people that want to ask who the best team in the NFL is right now, who the best teams in the NFC are, AFC are. So, if you want to hop in the room and enjoy a great Q&A while I end up watching The Simpsons, if you want to watch with me, if you have FXX, you can watch with me. I think they got another hour or hour and a half left. And like I said, let's enjoy ourselves on this Tuesday. Obviously, I'll try to bang out a few, different reaction videos or maybe do some more I drink beer, you ask NFL questions. But hey, The Simpsons is my favorite show. It's my favorite cartoon. I watch it every day. It's good for your mental health. I'm doing fantastic. I found this awesome background, found the awesome thumbnail. So if you want to be able to get in on this, turn on FXX right now and watch Simpsons with me. All right, we can share a laugh together while I drink the preferred beer of the show. Today's show is sponsored by Corona Extra. No gummies just yet. But like I said, hop in the room, join your boy, and let's hang out today. YouTube GM in the building, Dylan Hale in the building. Hey, good hygiene is important, especially for the podcast or for the stream, right? Cheers. But I hope everyone's having, a good day. I don't think I have that many beers left in the fridge. I think I have maybe about 4 or 5. So the stream isn't going to be incredibly long. It'll probably be, somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour. But I figured, let's hop on and enjoy ourselves on this Tuesday. And like I said, there's been a lot of COVID kind of questions and answers. A lot more of the Rams players, have contracted COVID. OBJ is one of them. It's going to be interesting to see on how everything kind of shakes out in December. Lots of teams are positioning for home field advantage. And obviously, as you know, with home field advantage, it's going to be everything, whether it be in Tampa, whether it ends up being, in Lambeau or possibly somewhere else like in LA or in Arizona, maybe even Dallas. I don't think Dallas is going to be able to get enough wins to get there. And then you got the Chiefs and you got the, New England Patriots, on the AFC side. But we'll have to kind of wait and see on how everything plays out. But I hope everyone is enjoying themselves and having a fantastic Tuesday. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $, ORION NWSF on the YouTube Super Chat right here. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is for every video on the YouTube page. Follow me. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatics. Shep in the building. What to do? So, like I said, I've been doing a lot of reading. Got home from work. It was a long day. I always make time for myself to always watch an episode 2 or 3 of The Simpsons, even though I've seen every single episode, from season 1 to season 30 plus. But it always puts me in a good mood. I was watching a little bit of NFL Network. I've been bouncing back and forth. Watched the replay of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. But like I said, I'm versatile. You know what I mean? We can end up doing streams for pretty much anything. But I saw this background and I was like, hey, I like this little background, little Homer, little Duff beer. Let's just hang out. And, like I said, I usually will do these probably once a week, maybe twice a week, just depending on, how much beer I got in the house. But I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. YouTube GM in the building. What to do? Dylan Hale in the building. What to do? Shep in the building. How are you, man? Looks like you missed out on the playoffs in the Northwest Sports Fanatics Fantasy Football League. It's going to be Memopolis, Zini Panini, your boy Orion, and BMO. So we'll see what happens. I'm sitting in third, but I actually scored the most points in the league. I'm thinking I can end up winning this year. We'll have to wait and see. I usually finish somewhere between first, second, and third. I'm done finishing third. I need to get this first place trophy for the Northwest Sports Fanatics Fantasy Football League. Jameson Meza in the building. What to do? Loyal Rammy in the building. What to do? Where were you? Loyal Ram? I said we got Trayvon G that showed up, but a lot of the other Rams fans, they don't end up coming in the chat that often anymore. Sometimes they'll come in and they'll drop in for maybe a couple minutes and dip. But it looks like Trayvon G was in the stream pretty much almost for that whole Rams game. Hey, it's good to see you in the room, even though you guys had that big win. You got to come in the room when you lose too. All right. When you lose, when you win, all of the above. But hey, congratulations on that big victory. The underdog. We saw the Rams last night. I thought they might be pretenders like the Dallas Cowboys. I thought the record that the Cardinals had going into the game, 10-2, should have been with the Rams record. But with an extended game, obviously less games in preseason, one extra game in the regular season, you are going to have moments where the team kind of sputters or hits a wall. Every good team has those moments, right? But to go on the road, and Matthew Stafford was in his bag. Cooper Kupp is unstoppable. Aaron Donald, unstoppable. No Jalen Ramsey, no Darrell Henderson, no Higbee. Looks like it was a false positive, obviously, with the COVID. And they had just a lot of adversity. And then to go into that game, Kyler did not play well. And the thing is with me and the Cardinals, the reason why I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game is that Kyler always plays his worst football, and it seems like in November and December. And if you play your worst football or you get hurt in November and December or you're inconsistent, how the hell are you going to do anything in January in the playoffs? So that's one thing that kind of concerns me as a fan of Kyler and the Cardinals. The defense is good. There's no J.J. Watt. But I think if you play the Rams, you play the Packers, you play the Bucks, I don't think the Cardinals are going to win. Maybe the Cardinals can beat the Cowboys, but I'm not really too sure on how confident I am of Arizona, but the Rams definitely get a little notch in my book for that big road win. I need to see what else you guys can do the rest of the season, but congratulations. Congratulations on that big victory. Loyal Ram in the house. What to do, man? Ramily in the building. Brian Chaffino, another stranger that I haven't seen in quite some time. What do the Ravens need to do to fix their offense? I'm going to be blunt and honest, just like I am with hybrid. There's pretenders and there's contenders. The Ravens are pretenders, my boy. The Ravens are pretenders, my boy. I mean, they don't have Marshall Yanda. They don't have J.K. Dobbins. You know what I mean? Lamar, he just doesn't got it, man. The defense is sus. It's just one of those things where the injuries have caught up. The inconsistent play on offense and defense is caught up. Can they still make the AFC Championship game? It's possible, but I think there's a lot of other teams that I like more than Baltimore. They really have to get into high gear in this last month, but I don't really have any confidence in Baltimore this season. Maybe it'll change next year, and that's just me being honest. I'm not just trying to, just shit on your football team because, I call it right down the middle, in any type of opinion or anything that I have as a hot take. I just don't believe in the Ravens this year. You needed to go to Hollywood Brown more and stay in the pocket. He was doing it, Lamar, for a few weeks, but it always seems like he gets away from it and tries to be Cam Newton, Mr. Superman, and tries to put too much on his shoulders. And that's a problem. That's a problem for the Ravens. They need Marshall Yanda type of offensive line. They need Pro Bowlers. They need, obviously, the running back, gang healthy. And they need to be able to have a better defense. So I'm not sure if there's anything that's going to fix that offense. And if there was something, it's a better offensive line. And possibly a better play caller, calling the plays as well. Shep, he said, yeah, I know it was close in that fantasy football. Loyal Ram says, I've been sick. Well, I'm sorry you've been sick, my dude. Hopefully you get better. Matt Payton, yo, what up? What to do? Hawaii in the building. Sarah Small in the building. What to do? That 5-game losing streak killed me. Damn, injuries. Not having good games in fantasy. Yeah, fantasy's tough. So Mike Tyson expected to fight Logan Paul in a few months. How do you think Logan Paul will fare? I think whether you like the Paul brothers or you hate them, Jake Paul or Logan Paul, right? They are geniuses in marketing. They're geniuses on YouTube. You get all these young kids and you get all these people, that are like, just looking up to them for views and clout and whatever it is. I don't personally like them, but I think that they both have shown that, they can definitely hang. You know what I mean? They're not going to be professionals necessarily, but any type of fight that you've seen the Paul brothers get in, whatever it is, it seems like they definitely hold their own. And in some cases, they exceed the expectations. They do a little bit better. But if we're talking about Mike Tyson, I mean, we saw Floyd, and we saw, kind of fight towards kind of the back end. Roy Jones Jr., you're starting to see Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, a lot of these legends that boxed, or did some kind of performing past their prime. And a lot of them don't look too good. We saw Mike Tyson's last fight. I didn't really know what to think about it. They called it a draw, but I mean, I would assume Tyson would win, but he is that much older. You know what I mean? The Paul brothers are both under 30, I would assume. They're in their 20s. So, I mean, one good lick to the chops, you could get knocked out. It just could be very weird seeing Mike Tyson get knocked out, by a Paul, let alone if it's Logan. You feel me? Tough one Saturday for my Colts. I hope we can win. It will be huge. Colts, Patriots. There's a doubleheader. I will be streaming on Saturday as well. Should the Packers fire their special teams coach? Well, if you're asking me, the answer is probably yes. The special teams is Bootios. It hasn't been good this year. And that's not just the Packers fans telling me. It's me watching, as many games as possible of the Packers. That might be their weak link. Now, are they the best team in football? A lot of people would say yes. You know what I mean? And you know what? I'm a Bucs fan. And even though I know my Bucs are very, very good, I can salute my cap and tip my cap to the Packers. So if I'm going to go, who's the best team in football right now? Let's go Green Bay Packers. If I'm so fucking biased, I could have easily said Tampa Bay. Do I think Tampa Bay's top 2 and not 2? A lot of the time, yeah. I do think Tampa is the best team. But just like your special teams, we do have injuries and we do have some things we need to work around. AB is still not back. I don't know if they're going to cut him or not. But I know when we're at full strength, we have Carlton Davis. We have Sean Murphy-Bunting. We have Jamel Dean. We have Antoine Winfield Jr. We have Mike Edwards. So that secondary, the Gravediggers, is elite when they're healthy, but they're not. Okay. And we don't have AB. So, I know Rodgers has got the toe and, they have some issues themselves, but let's give the Packers some credit. They played some fantastic football. I think the Bucs are number 2. You got New England, Kansas City, and the Rams and the Cardinals, the Cowboys. I think those are really the main teams right now. All right. The main 5 in the NFC, Packers, Bucs, all right, Rams, Cardinals, Cowboys, and then you got the Chiefs and the Patriots. That's it. I don't know if I can put anyone else in there. I want to put the Titans in there, but they're just kind of up and down for me. I just don't know if I can really crown them as like my 8th favorite team just yet. Could it be another team that kind of jumps up? I'm not too sure. We're going to have to wait and see. But if there is a team that could sneak into my top 8, maybe it is the Tennessee Titans. And that's facts. So I got to see a little bit more consistency. Now, if they had Henry, Julio, A.J. Brown healthy, then I would be like, yeah, number 8. It's Titans. But a lot of those guys are injured or not playing, so I have a lot of concerns there because the defense is still a little sus, and that's facts. I drink beer. You ask questions. I watch Simpsons. FXX, if you guys have FXX, turn it on. I'm watching Simpsons right now. I usually try to get about a half hour to 2 hours every night. Puts me in a good mental headspace. I love it. It's my favorite show to watch. Always makes me laugh. Absolutely love it. You got to make time for yourself. 30 minutes a day, 1 hour a day, no matter what it is, shoot some hoops, smoke a bowl, watch The Simpsons, go for a walk, play with your dog or cat, whatever your hobbies are, go to the store and buy a pack of cards or buy a box. You got to be able to find the wins in life, especially if work, school, or home life sucks. You got to make sure you make the best of everything. And like I said, life is short. You got to make sure you're happy and not just drowning in misery and pain. You know what I mean? Nothing is forever. Pain is temporary, and a lot of the sadness is temporary. Things get better over time, no matter how bad the situation is in the current time. Big facts. Let's see here. Dylan in the building says, I hope my Browns are going to show up Saturday. Man, Cleveland Browns. I don't really believe in the Browns. I don't really believe in the Ravens either. The Browns had so much promise going into the season where they were the Browns, the Bills, and the Chiefs. And then it was supposed to be Packers, Bucks, Rams, right? And we've started to notice that the injuries and just the inconsistency, Baker's not the guy for that team. Baker's not the guy. They need somebody better, you know what I mean? And they need a wide receiving core, better than Landry or what you had with OBJ, Njoku. You need to just revamp the whole wide receiving core. You need to get a better quarterback. Running backs are good. Chubb and Kareem Hunt are the 2 best running backs as a duo in the league, but the offensive line could be better. All right. And the defense could be a little bit more consistent too. And I'm not sure if you need a coaching change, but that might be something that they talk about in the next couple of years as well. And that's facts. Dylan Hale in the building. What to do? Shep, I'd be surprised if my Falcons make it to the playoffs. If we beat the Niners, it gets real interesting. I actually think Atlanta has a shot to get that 7 spot. I'm not lying. You know what I mean? The Panthers aren't going to get it. I don't think the Saints are going to get it. The Niners might be able to get that 6, but that 7, it might be open for the Atlanta Falcons, as crazy as that sounds. You haven't really had Calvin Ridley all year, due to just mental issues of, depression and just not being right. I can relate. Sometimes, I have those ups and downs, and I'll deal with like a little anxiety and depression as well. And that definitely hurt their chances because remember, going into the season, Calvin Ridley was supposed to be the breakout player of 2021. He was going to be the guy that got all the targets, all right, because Julio left. he was going to be the guy with Kyle Pitts that he was going to take over as that wide receiver one, and it didn't really happen, to what we thought. But with that all being said, even though the offense and defense have been up and down, Terrell, he's been one of the amazing pieces on that defense. Deion Jones, you remember when you had Alford and you had some of those other pieces at corner, but AJT Rail, man, he's nice. I definitely like him. He's been balling out for your Falcons, Shep, and that's big facts. And Cordarrelle Patterson, let's not forget about him. I got him in fantasy. If you have Cordarrelle Patterson, you're probably going to finish in your league top 2. That's just facts. I picked up 2 of the biggest names early on. Mike Williams, and when he was balling out early, and Cordarrelle Patterson. But Patterson has extended that longevity week in and week out with just a little bit of injury a few weeks back. But Mike Williams has been really hot in the beginning, 20, 30, 40 points, and then he dropped off of a fucking face of a cliff, and he's starting to get it back, but he's not consistent, so I can't even play him in fantasy. He's just sitting on my fucking bench. Jamison Meza in the building. Explora Dora. We don't ask about that. We don't ask about that. Yeah. We don't do that. we don't talk about that. You obviously have not been in this channel, and we don't say that name on here. You go to timeout. Brian Chafino. To be fair, lots of injuries, and the offensive coach needs to go. Jameson in the building, Matt Payton in the building. Paul is going to get killed. Tyson is a freak. Yes, he is. Tyson is going to win most likely, but I expect Logan to hang in there for over a round. Yeah, you never know. Roy Jones Jr. wanted to quit against Tyson. Mike was pounding his body, and you could tell his pride wouldn't let him quit. Mike can still throw the leather. Yes, he can. It was pretty entertaining, but you knew there wasn't going to really be a winner. More than likely they were going to have some kind of draw there. Let's see here. Rumor had been going around saying Falcons should trade Deion Jones in the offseason. How you feel about that? And if they do, who should they pick up, Orion? Very simple question for me to answer. Let me take a big swig of beer, because that's the name of the show, right? I drink beer. I watch Simpsons. You ask NFL questions or questions in general. So the simple answer to that question, fuck no. You don't get rid of fucking Deion Jones. He arguably is the best player on the team. You got Kyle Pitts on the offense, Calvin Ridley, you got Matt Ryan, Cordarrelle Patterson on the offense. But on the defense, AJ Terrell, all right, you got him. But Deion Jones has kind of been the staple. He is the Levante David, Devin White to the Falcons. There's no way in hell that you trade him or let him go. You keep him no matter what. I mean, he is a staple of the team, unless you want to just give up on him and start over. But Deion Jones don't grow on trees. And to me, he might be one of the more underrated linebackers that's not well known across the league. And that's big facts. You don't let a guy like that walk out the door unless he doesn't want to be there anymore. But I like Deion Jones. Would I take him in Tampa Bay? In a fucking heartbeat. Do not let Deion Jones go, period. Facts. Let's see here. Packers with Rodgers playing have the highest winning percentage, but I don't trust the Packers defense or special teams in the playoffs. They always play bad in the postseason in those categories. And that's facts. And that's why I can put them number one now, even though I really feel Tampa Bay should be getting recognized, as the number one team in the NFL. But there's going to be haters, that don't like Tom, that don't like Orion, that don't like the Northwest Sports Fanatics, that don't like the Buccaneers. You guys won already. But I mean, if you're looking at Tom Brady at 44, leading the league in yards, leading the league in passing, what does that say? I haven't had AB for almost half the year. Okay. And he's still leading the league. All right. Defense hasn't been healthy. I've only lost 3 times to Washington. All right. The Saints and the Rams. That's it. All right, so you're not going to go undefeated, but, I mean, we're on a 4-game win streak. We're going to play these 4 teams. The Saints, the Panthers, the Jets, the Panthers. You tell me if we're going to lose those games. Fuck no. We're going to win all of them. So we're going to be on an 8-game win streak. Last year, we were on a 4-game win streak in December, which I called, and they ran it all the way to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, whether you want to agree with me or not, if we do play the Packers, I don't care if they're in Lambeau or if we're on the road, but I think that Tampa will be the 1 seed when it's all said and done. You're going to have to go through Tampa to end up going to the Super Bowl. And if it goes through Tampa, just like when you go to Lambeau, it's going to be tough to win there. But I think Tampa going into Lambeau or the Rams going into Lambeau, they can do it. You know what I mean? They might be the only 2 teams, but special teams will kill you. And defense, stopping the run. That's one thing the Packers kind of have a problem with, is stopping the run. So if you get a team that's really hot with a 2 or 3 backs, I mean, we saw it against the Niners in the NFC Championship game. Couldn't stop the run. They got blown out early and they couldn't catch up. Tampa Bay ran all over them last year, right? If you can't stop the run in the NFC Championship game, you are not winning the game. So if you can find a way to have good special teams, good defense, and stop the run, then they can obviously do it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is good enough to, win the game himself, but you're going to need a little bit of help too, with the special teams, the defense, and stopping the run. I mean, we've seen it year in and year out. That's facts. Let's see here. Loyal Ram. So Ryan, South Park over Simpsons? Fuck no, dude. Simpsons. I mean, for me, I'm a cartoon guy, and I watch cartoons every day. You know what I mean? Every day I'll watch, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, South Park, Family Guy, Rick and Morty. Pretty much a King of the Hill. I mean, we're going through all the cartoons, but for me, Simpsons is 1. I like Rick and Morty is probably 2. But if a cartoon is on for 30 plus years, obviously it's pretty good. You know what I mean? It's not going to be one of those things. You can't have a show on TV for 30 fucking years plus. Obviously they wouldn't be broadcasting a show for 30 plus years if it wasn't great. So I think South Park and some of the other shows, definitely are funny. South Park's kind of like Family Guy. And if I had to choose between those two, I go Family Guy over South Park. I think South Park is great. You know what I mean? But it makes you laugh. But I think they kind of had their heyday. You know what I mean? And so I don't need to see something like kind of crazy, raunchy, nasty, to make me laugh. Because you know how South Park and Family Guy, they kind of push the boundaries of TV once in a while, or almost every show that they put on. But for me, Simpsons and Rick and Morty, those are my favorite too. That's facts. What are the chances of the Eagles making the playoffs? Making the playoffs, that's a good question. They probably are in the running, for maybe that 7 spot. They're going to be trying to battle it out with the Falcons and a few other teams. But I don't know if you really want to make the playoffs. I mean, at this point, with 3 draft picks in the first round, it's all about draft positioning. I would rather see the Eagles not make the playoffs and just look forward to next season and move forward. But, I mean, if they're kind of on the cusp, I guess you got to go for it. But I'm not really a big fan of Sirianni. It took him almost a whole season to figure out that you need to run the football with Miles Sanders and company. It's like, dude, you should have already known that going in, for the roster, that you can't just throw it to Devontae Smith or, Zach Ertz when he was there, or Dallas Goedert, you know what I mean, over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts is nice. I don't think you should give up on him, but we'll see what happens. They might give up on him. I mean, they got 3 picks in the first round. If it was me, personally, I probably would go for, defense, and then maybe another like wide receiver, like another weapon. If you got like an Olave, obviously the Saints want him bad. Ohio State wide receiver might be the best in the country. But if you could add that with Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert with Jalen Hurts, I mean, that could be huge. And then 2 defensive pieces to add depth, because, Fletcher Cox isn't getting any younger, as well as big play Slay. Darius Slay is not getting any younger. That's facts. That is facts. Let's see here. Jameson Mays, okay, just saw a video of the return of King Henry. It looks like it'll be the last week of the season against the Texans. I mean, if he comes back, I mean, they're definitely going to be, in the top 8, and they definitely have a chance to be able to, do some things. But even with him coming back, I still like the Patriots and the Chiefs more than the Titans, because the Titans defense is kind of suspect, man. At least the Patriots defense is legit. Okay. The Chiefs defense is starting to come together. Honey Badger, Tyron Matthew is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Without him, they would be nothing. Yeah, you got Chris Jones. Chris Jones. You got Frank Clark. You got these other guys. But the heart and soul that beats for that defense, it's Honey Badger. And he makes plays every single game. So the Titans need to really work on that side of the ball. If they can work on that side of the ball, I definitely think that they can make an AFC championship game, but also like Julio, A.J. Brown being banged up. Tannehill hasn't been Ryan. He hasn't been the prototypical beast Ryan Tannehill that we're used to. So I don't think the Titans are going to make a deep, deep run. Could they? Obviously they could. Them, the Chargers, the Ravens, the Bengals, there's all these other like bubble teams, but they're nowhere near New England or Kansas City at this point. And that's big facts. Minshew over Hurts. You're trolling, Ben. Stop it. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down. Sarah Small in the building. Shep in the building. Jeffy Plush Adventures. Do you think the Eagles will make the wild card? A lot of Eagles questions. Let me take another sip of the beer. Okay. I drink beer. You ask questions. I watch Simpsons and a little bit of the Bills and Bucks, and I'll answer that question. Ooh, that's good. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF on the YouTube Super Chat right here. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. I can tell a lot of y'all don't usually come into the stream because you guys are asking me questions that if you were a regular, that you would already know. Now, not my homeboy, not a part of the channel, quit, not my friend. And like I said, we don't discuss that, okay? So obviously I know a lot of y'all that are new coming in or that you used to watch me, all right? If you haven't seen the other person, there's a reason why, okay? And that happened a long, long time ago. So if you're asking questions like that, obviously I know that you haven't been on the channel in, a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, or maybe even longer. And that's big facts. Big facts. YouTube GM, I noticed that the Cardinals play bad at home. Why is that? They are a wild card team at best. When they play at home, they have 0 losses on the road. I don't know. I think with the Cardinals, like I said, I think they lost a little bit of the heart and soul when JJ Watt, got injured, and he ended up having, the season-ending injury. You got guys, Budda Baker, you got ballers out there, Chandler Jones. But the thing is with them, they ride and die and they eat shit, breathe football through Kyler Murray. So when Kyler is going, right, the team is flowing. But when Kyler plays bad, the defense can't recover. The special teams can't recover. The defense has been pretty damn good for the Cardinals this season, but I don't think they have a home field advantage. If you ended up watching that game last night against the Rams, did you hear the crowd, like even once? It's not like Tampa. It's not like Lambeau. It's not like Kansas City. Like when you hear the crowd and you feel that emotion, it's like, I don't know if they're just not used to winning or the fans aren't into it. Or they're not drunk enough or whatever it is, but they don't have a home field advantage. Like if the Cardinals ended up having the best record at the end of the day, which they won't, I think the road team has a better shot to win than the home team. I just don't really think the Cardinals are that good. I don't think they're really that good at home, which is weird because that's where your best football should be, at home, right? That's facts. Deacon Baker in the building. Packers won. Let's go, he says. Luke Birch, my boy, what do you do? He said, you a fan of MMA or boxing? That's a good question. I think with MMA or boxing, I'm not really a super fan of either. If there is, someone worthy of me, watching, with UFC, MMA, or boxing, I will. Anytime there's a headliner, usually I'll order it or I'll go to a buddy's house and, Khabib, you know what I mean? If there's someone big, that I can actually watch and enjoy, I'm going to do it. But I won't go out of my way every single month and order every fight, every pay-per-view for MMA or boxing. But I watched, way back in the day with like Tyson and Evander Holyfield, with Holyfield biting off the ear. I've watched a lot of boxing and a lot of UFC. I watched Hoist Gracie and, Ken Shamrock. I watched UFC 1. That shows you how old I am. I've been watching UFC when it was on VHS, when it was UFC 1. So, I'm not new to the game, you know what I mean? But for me, it's more NFL, college football, AEW. I'm not really on that WWE tip anymore, but maybe they can prove to me that they will be there at some point. Let's see here. Deacon Baker. So do you think the Bucs should have won that game versus the Bills? Yeah, I do. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Bucs were in control a good chunk of that game. The Bills, had Uncle Mo. Someone call 911. They had that Uncle momentum, and they made it to overtime, right? But I think that game was more in the bag than maybe, let's say, game 1 against the Cowboys. That game we should have lost. Hands down, no debate. That's the one. That's the one that we should have lost, and we found a way to win that one. But I think that, winning that game was huge because when we won that game, moving forward, you got the Saints, right? The Panthers, the Jets, and the Panthers. We're going to go 4-0. I don't see us dropping any of those games. We could even have backups in, and we're going to win that. And that's facts. Yeah, all the trolls, man. All the trolls. All the trolls. Fuck no. I love it, man. I love it when all these people come in that haven't been on the stream or they're just creating new little usernames. Come on, man. You're lazy and you got no work ethic. You know what I mean? I don't want anything to do with you. That's facts. Loyal Rammy. So the Rams finish at 13-4. No, I don't think so. I mean, I think Tampa's going to end up having the best record. If you look at the Rams schedule, all right, and you look at the Packers schedule and the Bucs schedule, the Bucs schedule is the easiest, right? I think we're going to be the 1 seed. And I'm not saying the Rams are a bad football team. You know, you guys hit a little wall, but you had a big emotional win, all right, obviously against the Cardinals. But let's just get something clear. The Packers and the Bucs aren't the fucking Cardinals, all right? So if you want to end up going to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game, it's going to go through Green Bay and Tampa Bay. And I think everyone knows it. Just like New England and Kansas City. If you want to be able to get to the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl, it's going to go through those 2 teams, Patriots and Chiefs. It's going to go through the Packers and the Bucs. Not that the Rams are bad. I mean, the Rams are right there with the Cardinals and the Cowboys, but I don't put the Rams in the same category. No Robert Woods. You got all this COVID issues. I mean, you guys don't have that full complement of the roster, and you guys still won, which is very impressive. But when it comes to playing great teams in the playoffs, you're going to need to be hot and healthy. And all of our teams are banged up to a certain degree. Rams, Packers, Bucs. But once it gets into January, I think Tampa Bay is going to be able to run away with it. And that's facts. Let's see here. I did see that. Curry got the all-time record tonight for threes. Ray Allen was in the building. He did it in 700 or 800 less games. Pretty amazing. You know what I mean? He is the best shooter that we have ever seen. Period. Jameson Meza. Okay, what do you think about the impact of the Titans picking up Zach Cunningham? Cunningham had some game, back in the day. Obviously if you're on the Texans or if you're on kind of like a shittier football team, what can you say? I mean, you can only say so much about a player like that, but I mean, anything that can help the Titans defense is a plus. I don't really know what kind of impact Zach Cunningham is going to have, but anything that can help the defense that's not been good in the last couple years will definitely help your guys' chances of trying to overachieve and get to the AFC Championship game. And that's big facts. Do you think they should rest Dak and Zeke to get them heal fully healthy for the playoff run? No. You got to keep playing them because you got to have that repetition. You got to have the repetition. You got to be able to, have them out there, because if you end up resting Dak and Zeke, right? I mean, how many games are you going to win if you don't play those guys? I mean, we know Tony Pollard, when he was healthy, he could be just as good as Zeke, if not better. I think a lot of people think that Pollard is better than Zeke. Zeke is a name and he's getting paid more, but I think Pollard is a better running back. I think if you've watched the games, Alan, yourself, I think a lot of Cowboys fans would agree and NFL fans would agree. Tony Pollard is not the bigger name, but his production when he's on the field is more exciting, and it seems like it's more productive. You're getting more positive yards and more excitement when Tony Pollard gets the ball rather than Zeke. Just my personal opinion, when watching the film. And with Dak, I mean, they're only going to go as far as Dak can take them. So I think that they need to be able to play him as much as they can. Hefe KC, Tannehill a beast? Hey, Tannehill last year, was a beast. And then previous years was a beast. But think about this. If you don't have Derrick Henry and you don't have A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, right, and you don't even have your guy at tight end anymore that ended up going to the Patriots, Jonnu Smith, how good are you going to be? It's like me saying that, Patrick Mahomes this year has struggled. Take away Travis Kelce, take away Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and take away Tyreek Hill. You tell me how good Patrick Mahomes is going to do, especially when he's already been struggling with those guys in the lineup. So before you start talking shit about Ryan Tannehill, put yourself in someone else's shoes or on another team. Deacon, they weren't talking about you. They're talking about all these other fools in the room bringing up stupid questions and stupid comments. All right? That's facts. Minshew definitely over Hurts. Minshew's underrated. Come on, YouTube GM. Hurts is better than Minshew, but Minshew is nice. Minshew is one of the better backups in the league, but he's not better than Jalen Hurts. I mean, I would take both of them on Tampa Bay if that means anything. But Minshew is more of a backup. Minshew could probably start for maybe 5 to 10 teams in the NFL. Jalen Hurts could probably start for about 20. You know what I mean? 20 to 25. I mean, there's going to be other QBs that are better than him. And we'll have to wait and see, if that's the guy that they want to move forward with or not. But I think he's still a guy that could be, a starter and could develop into something special. It's just a matter of if you got the right coach or not, which I think the Eagles do not. I don't think Sirianni is the guy. He's the guy. He's like the rebound girlfriend or rebound boyfriend. It's like you have someone that you love. You're with them for a long, long time. Dougie P. You won a Super Bowl. Doug Peterson. And then you bring in this other guy. You know what I mean? And he thinks he's just going to turn it around and get you to a Super Bowl. It's not going to fucking happen. Sirianni ain't the guy. He's the rebound. All right. You got to wait for the next one or maybe two after. Then you'll be able to get that coach that might be the right fit. But he is the rebound. He is not the guy for the team, moving forward. If you want a guy that's going to get the team to the NFC Championship game or Super Bowl or even win the NFC East, let's go and just like pump the brakes on the goals. Just like try to win the division. I'm not sure if you're going to get that with Sirianni personally. I don't think he's a horrible coach. I don't think it's just the right fit with Philly and that fan base. That's facts. See here. He said, I'm an OG. Yeah, but I can tell you haven't watched in a long time, Mr. Slap Yo Bitch, because if you've been asking that, you've already seen the decline in the last 3 years and hasn't been on in over a year. So I can already tell that you haven't been watching in a long, long time. Shame, shame, shame. Shame, 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 my dude. I can tell based on the comments that are typed in, usually how old someone is, if they're trolling, or how long it's been before they've been here. All right? That's facts. Never coming back ever, 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 ever again. Not happening. Not happening, my guy. What's the score prediction for the Cowboys and the Giants? Cowboys by a shitload. I don't even know if I think Danny Dimes is still out, so I would imagine the Cowboys should win by at least 20, maybe more. It's going to be a blowout. You know what I mean? The Giants have 0% chance winning that game. And I do know, that the underdogs have been very good this season. Very, very good. With every smash of the like button, Orion will eat a spiked gummy. I haven't had any gummies just yet. So, what's your thoughts on Urban? Man, Josh Long, good question. It's going to be a process. Obviously, we've seen the success that he's had at, Utah and Florida and Ohio State. The NFL is a different beast. It's a different game. A lot of coaches that go to the NFL, they fail, and they fail miserably. And then they go back to college. I'm not sure, because the thing is the roster just sucks. They're just, they've had a lot of injuries, ETN, at the very beginning, DJ Shark, Trevor Lawrence hasn't progressed. You have a lot of injuries, a lot of shitty play, defenses, bootios. I don't know how long they're going to give them. Obviously, they're making plenty of money and doing big things with the Khan family with AEW, since they own the Jags and AEW, but I'm not sure if Urban's the guy, but you're probably going to stick it out with him for at least a couple more years to see if they can get to a wild card at the very least. But in like 1 or 2 more years, if you don't get at least above 500, he's gone, and then they're going to have to find someone else. If Winston didn't tear his ACL and MT was healthy, we would have made the Super Bowl for real, for real. Mr. Slap Yo Bitch. Is this Young Nola? This feels like it might be Young Nola on the screen here, because that's only something an ignorant Young Nola or Saint fan would say. Stop it, man. You had 0% chance, all right, of making the Super Bowl, regardless if you had those guys all the way through the year. But what you did have is a playoff berth. You would have maybe got the 6 or the 7 seed. I'll give you that. All right. You could have ended up coming in second place to NFC South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but you ain't winning no fucking Super Bowl. Stop it with that. This is like the worst team depth-wise that you guys have had in like 5-6 years. Young Nola, Young Nola, Young Nola. Young Nola, a.k.a. Mr. Slap Yo Bitch? Maybe. Are you the same person? Could be. Could be. Chiefs and Chargers on Thursday night. It's going to be a great game. Absolutely. I love Justin Herbert. That's my boy. But, the Chiefs are – the Chargers defense is good, so it's almost like a must-win for the Chargers. The Chiefs don't necessarily need to win it, but for momentum's sake, and if they want to try to have home field and get it over New England, the Chiefs need to come to play. But I don't really know what kind of Patrick Mahomes we're going to get. It seems like he plays good, then he plays bad. He plays mediocre, plays average. I got him in fantasy, and I got Matthew Stafford, and I got Taysom Hill. All right. And even Mr. Slap Yo Bitch with that insane statement, if Winston didn't tear his ACL and MT was healthy, we would have made the Super Bowl for real, with a couple little Saints emojis. I have Taysom Hill starting. I have him on my team. So I'm not stupid. I know he's a dual threat. He's going to get you 17 points or more. He's going to be able to get you maybe into the mid to the high 20s. He has the ability to score with his legs or his arm. And that's sad. You know what I mean? Where I have to go with Taysom. It's not sad, but it's like I shouldn't have to have Taysom Hill on my roster. I should be able to use that spot for another wide receiver, running back, or tight end, or defense, or whatever, right? But with Mahomes and Stafford being kind of inconsistent, I had to be able to find that other quarterback a few weeks ago before Taysom Hill really started playing games. And thank God I did, because I might be able to win the fantasy football championship with Taysom Hill as my quarterback. Who would have thought at the beginning of the year, you know what I mean? It wasn't going to be Matthew Stafford for me or Patrick Mahomes. Maybe it's going to be Taysom Hill. But hey, I'll take it as long as I win the championship. And that's facts. All right, time to drink some beer. All right, FXX got all the cartoons. Futurama, Family Guy, Simpsons, Bob's Burgers. I mean, I'm always on the FXX. Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, Cake, Archer, Futurama. Love it. Always puts me in a good mood. I even have Disney Plus, and I end up watching like from season 1, and I'm trying to like watch every episode from season 1. I've been watching it pretty consistently on like the weekends when I have time or during the week, a little bit. I think I'm on season 11. So it shows you I've been grinding on it. You know what I mean? But still, I got another like 20 years of footage to go through, which is a lot of time, a lot of minutes, and a lot of hours, but I really do enjoy it. And that's facts. I drink beer. You ask NFL questions. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ORION_NWSF on the YouTube Super Chat right here. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch. Link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatics. And I know the fans like when I drink beer and then they can do the question thing. So this will probably be a regular thing that I do, even during the off season. You know what I mean? I will never run out of beer. So, and you guys will never run out of questions. So I think it's just a great pairing. Might have to start popping some gummies at some point as well. And I always will get the trolls or some, random statements that'll make me laugh. We already got a few of the trolls in the building already. Hilarious, man. Fucking hilarious. You never know what you're going to get in a stream. Message from a Golden Eagle. What up, Orion? NWSF 4 live, brother. New world order. 4 live, brother. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, baby. So a question for you, message from a Golden Eagle. Do you want to make the playoffs or not? I mean, because if I'm an Eagle fan, I don't want to make the playoffs. I want draft position. I mean, you can trade up, and try to replace Jalen Hurts. But if it was me, I would use the picks on like a corner, maybe a pass rusher, and then maybe a wide receiver. Or maybe I would just go all defense, all 3 spots. But I think having another weapon for Jalen Hurts would be ideal, or use another pick for an offensive lineman. You can never have enough offensive linemen. Lane Johnson, you have plenty of guys up and down the line, but we've seen with like Brooks and some of the other guys, they just can't stay healthy. I like Kelsey, but he's not getting any younger at center either. So offensive line would be good. Wide receiver would be good. Okay. Like an Olave would be fantastic for the Eagles. Could you imagine? Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, Olave on one side, Devontae Smith on the other. Would be pretty nice with Dallas Goedert at tight end. But you need defense. Fletcher Cox getting old, right? Big play Slay getting old. You need new linebackers. You need new pass rushers. You need new secondary. So, I mean, they're going to be able to hopefully hit on their draft picks. But as we know with the Eagles, it just seems like with their organization, they never hit on their fucking draft picks. It's rare. You know what I mean? Especially when they have a bundle of draft picks. It's like if they have 3 first-rounders, maybe you're going to hit for 1. And that's not good. I mean, if you want to be able to turn it around and win the NFC East, you got to hit 2 for 3 or 3 for 3. And I don't know if you're going to be able to get that out of that organization. And that's facts. Let's see here. Deacon Baker. He said, Packers on top. Matt Payton, all the way from Hawaii. Broncos fan. Will Vic Fangio be fired? He's more of a coordinator. I mean, if you've noticed, the Bears haven't been the same defense or the same team since he left to be the D coordinator of the Bears to the head coach of the Denver Broncos. But what I will tell you is the Denver Broncos are one of the more polished well-rounded teams. They're only missing a couple pieces to make the playoffs. They need a quarterback. That's very clear. And a new head coach. All right. Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant. You got defense, Patrick Surtain. I mean, you got guys all over the place. You don't even need Von Miller. You need Bradley Chubb to stay healthy. You know what I mean? But you got a pretty good football team. If you add Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos next year, that could be a team that can make it all the way to the AFC Championship game. I truly believe that. I think Aaron going to that team that already has a running game, a pretty good, O-line, good wide receivers, good tight ends, a good defense. I mean, they definitely would contend with the Chiefs and every other team in that division, the Chargers. We don't know what the Raiders are going to do. It might take them a few years to be able to compete. But I'll tell you what, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Raiders or the Broncos or the Dolphins, I mean, look for that team to go very deep into the playoffs in the AFC, because I don't see them going to an NFC team. They're going to trade him to an AFC team more than likely. And the only way Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers stay as a Green Bay Packer after this year is if they probably win the Super Bowl. That might be the only way that they stay. Or if Aaron does win, he might be like, all right, I won here. Fuck you. And then I'll go somewhere else and try to win somewhere else. Do kind of like a Tom Brady thing. Or like, boom, win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to go to another team and try to win another Super Bowl back to back. And I'll tell you what, if the Packers win the Super Bowl this year and he leaves and he goes to the Broncos, I mean, who's to say that the Broncos can't get to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? I mean, as long as he's still playing on an MVP level. And that's facts. Luke Birch, you can go 4-0 and still miss out on the 1 seed. LOL. Go Pack, go. All right. Yeah, but we've seen this story the last couple years. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe this is the year that you guys clip the Bucs, but I feel very confident with Tampa Bay running it back. We're going to get to the NFC Championship game. We don't have to be the 1 seed. We weren't with a 1 seed last year. We went on the road, and what happened? It was no problem. You know what I mean? But you got to be hot, and you got to be healthy, and no one's going to be hotter than the Bucs once we go 4-0 in this last 4-game stretch. We're going to be 8-0. You're going to name one other team that's going to be hotter than that? Because there's going to be some teams, Cardinals, Rams, Packers. There is a chance that out of your 3 other teams that you guys drop at least a game out of these last 4. It's realistic. I've seen your guys' schedule. It's not like crazy. Like you can beat the Ravens, you can beat the Bears, you can beat the Vikings, but there might be a trap game in there. Maybe the Ravens is the trap game. Maybe the Vikings is the trap game. I know it's not the fucking Lions. I know you could beat them with your eyes closed, but we will see. Rams already beat the Bucs, bruh. Don't get it twisted, but was it in the playoffs? Regular season don't mean shit. You beat us in the regular season last year, but what happened? Did you win the Super Bowl last year? No, you did not. Case closed. Josh Long said, doing good. Glad the day is over. Yeah, it's been a long, long fucking day. That's big facts. Message from a Golden Eagle. Ryan, will we make a wild card run? I mean, for that 7th spot, I mean, who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Panthers? Probably not. Is it going to be the Saints? Probably not. Falcons, Eagles, Washington, one of those 3 teams, and then you're probably going to get the Niners, I would assume, with the 6th seed. I mean, we're going to have to see on how the games kind of shake out. You know what I mean? But it's going to be more than likely in the 6 and the 7. Niners, Eagles, Niners, Falcons. I mean, it's just weird to think that the Falcons could get in. You know what I mean? But you got to be able to see who's going to be able to finish strong in these last 4 games. Eagles have just as good of chance as any of those other kind of teams that are on the border of making the playoffs, of getting in. But you got to look at the schedule. And also you do have 3 first-round draft picks. So I guess it just depends on what you're, take 1 step backwards to go 10 steps forward, or do you want to make the playoffs and, go that particular route? If I'm an Eagle fan, I don't want to make the playoffs this year. And I want to just be able to call the season a wash. You know what I mean? Sirianni's first year, he didn't even understand that he needed to run the football until like week 12. You know what I mean? That's a little too late, my guy. You know what I mean? 3 months have passed, and you're like, oh, we need to run the football to actually win football games. So, you know what I mean? I don't think they really deserve to get in, but any team that gets in at the 6 or 7, I don't think they're going to do any damage. Any team, if it's the Niners, Saints, Panthers, Falcons, Eagles, I don't think any team in the 6 or 7 spot is winning a game in the playoffs. At least on the NFC side. AFC side, that might be a different story. But on the NFC side, I don't think you're going to get any kind of upsets with the 6 and the 7. And usually there'll be upsets in the first round. But once it ends up getting to be like NFC, AFC championship game or divisional, you kind of have an idea who's going to win. There's still upsets in the divisional, but once it gets to NFC, AFC championship game, I would think most people kind of have an inkling or kind of an idea of who's going to end up winning. That's facts. Said Rams, they have never lost to the Brady-led Bucks. I got to bust chops. Home loaf. Hey, I know, man. Yeah, and you guys have done well. You guys have done well against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll give you that. And you guys are trying to do exactly what Tampa Bay did last year. You're trying to be able to go to the Super Bowl and then host the Super Bowl, right? And if you get there, you're probably going to play the Patriots or the Chiefs. And if that happens, you got a good chance of winning. But, I mean, the Packers and the Bucks say otherwise. I mean, I think that you guys can beat the Cardinals. I think you can beat the Cowboys. But I'm not sure if you can beat the Packers or Bucks in the playoffs. Regular season, yes, you can beat the Bucks, just like the Saints did. Remember that last year? How the Saints beat us week 1 by more than 10 and then beat us week 9, 38-3. And they were like, oh, we're going to beat the shit out of you in the playoffs with Breeze. And then what happened? Tampa's defense came to play and Drew Brees retired and the rest is fucking history. That's facts. It's going to be fun, though. I'll tell you that. It's going to be very, very fun to see where things go and how things play out. But I know it's going to be very, very exciting like it is every single year in the playoffs. That's facts. I know you started to put me on that too. You really do believe in that, don't you? By football by the numbers and like conspiracy theories and all that shit. You truly believe in that shit. Message from a Golden Eagle, don't you? All right, Blake Midget. Before I get into this question, I need to drink beer. I barely watched The Simpsons because I'm talking to you guys, which is okay, because obviously I got it on my DVR. I'm just hanging out with your boy.
For 14 years, Subaru and our retailers have been sharing the love with those who need it most. Now, Subaru is the largest automotive dealer to make a
I drink beer. You ask NFL questions, or any question for that matter. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $, ORION, NWSF on the YouTube Super Chat right here. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatics. Do you think the Panthers should fire Coach Rule? No. Obviously they got rid of Brady, the OC. It's been just a dumpster fire, past what, the 3-0 start. When Justin Wills, jinxed them and said that they're going to go 17-0 and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. And then what happened? Run CMC got hurt like he does every single year. Sam Darnold started to see ghosts. You started getting Horn, got the injury, at the beginning of the year. Everything started to go downhill. They got a lot of potential. I like DJ Moore. I like Robbie Anderson. I like a lot of pieces on their team. But I don't think that you need to, fire Coach Rule. But you do need to get a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. You're going to have to – I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson is the answer with all the legal issues that he has, but in the draft or in free agency, you may be looking for another leader of the football team. And that's facts.
The monkeys don't have feelings. If they did, then my experiments could be called cruel.
Luke Birch said, would taking away Clyde Edwards-Helaire really harm Mahomes at this point? CH don't have it. Casey must yeah, well, the thing is I think he's more of an RB2, but if the offensive line has been starting to come together just like the defense in the last few weeks, Mahomes still isn't back to being himself. I'm not saying that Tampa Bay exploited him and we figured him out and the whole league has figured him out. I think that he might be able to get back to the elite Patrick Mahomes that we saw in the past, but if you don't have a running game, defensive coordinators are going to be pinpointing that, right? So just like the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills were so good. They're all winning the Super Bowl. Josh Allen's the greatest. Stephon Diggs is great, right? But do they have a running game? Same situation. Singletary, average. Zach Moss, average. Matt Breida, average. They're all RB2s. You know what I mean? And if they decide when they get down not to continue running the football, you get exploited with 8, 9 in the box, one-on-one with the corners. And by the time that the quarterback tries to go to that one-on-one, they're already sack lunched. Yum, 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 and it's already over. So I think that they're both kind of in the same boat, but I like Kansas City offensive line better than obviously the Buffalo Bills, and I like the running backs better. I like Zach Moss more than Singletary or Breida, so I like him as the best one on Buffalo, but he's still a change of pace back. They're not good enough to be an RB1, any of those three, in my opinion. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is an RB2. Darrell Williams is an RB3. Gore is an RB4. They need a Kareem Hunt. They need a Jamal Charles. They need a Christian Okoye. They need that Kareem Hunt, that Nick Chubb. They need that Josh Jacobs, that Jonathan Taylor back, the Bills and the Chiefs. So at some point, once they get that guy, they'll be able to take it to the next level. But I still think Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a lot of potential. He just has to be able to work on, hanging on to the damn football and using him properly. Instead of running like sweeps to the outside, why don't you throw him the football in the passing game? Why don't you run him up the middle, through the guards and the tackles? It seems like they're not really using him right, which is kind of weird because Bieniemy is an OC genius for Kansas City. So we'll have to wait and see, but I still think the Chiefs can end up representing the AFC, even beating the Patriots in the playoffs. And that's my personal feeling on that. That's facts. Three teams from the NFC West in the playoffs. Very possible. Rams, Cardinals, Niners. Obviously, Seahawks have no chance. But, yes, I think there is a great chance because then you got Tampa Bay, right? And then you got the Packers, right? So you got those taken care of. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys. So, yeah, I definitely think that you could get three in the NFC West. YouTube GM, Jimmy G is better than Hurts, not just because he is a sexy hunk. I don't know about the sexy hunk part. We all know Jimmy G is a handsome man, right? But he's played a little bit better than I thought. Obviously, we thought Trey Area would be back in the game, at least getting a chance to show what he can do. And he hasn't really been able to do that yet. Jimmy is so up and down. He's a game manager to the very fullest. But I don't trust him in the big games. He's always due for a bad throw, a bad pick or two. And to say Jimmy G is better than Hurts isn't really a fair comparison. Jimmy G has been to a Super Bowl. Hurts has not. I mean, Hurts hasn't been in the league as long as Jimmy. So I'm not really sure if that's a fair comparison, in my opinion. Just saying. Mr. Nguyen, shotgun a beer. Well, I got Coronas, so I'm not sure if I can shotgun a Corona. But you know what? Let me go grab some beers, my dude. Let me go grab a couple. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I drink beer. You ask NFL questions. Mr. Nguyen says shotgun a beer, so I guess I got to go get a Corona and drink some beer. So subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Donate to your boy. If you can. Cash App, $ ORIONNWSF on the YouTube Super Chat right here. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below your video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatics. Mr. Nguyen, what to do, my dude?
Introducing Wendy's new hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2 to 1 over McDonald's. Try them today, only at Wendy's.
You missed that important meeting, an important family time. This is life for migraine sufferers. Dark rooms, medications, and shutting out the world while missing out on life's moments. Now you can treat the root of your pain with Cephalidul, the FDA-cleared drug-free way clinically proven to treat migraines quickly and effectively.
My doctor recommended Cephalidul, and I'm getting migraine pain relief really quickly.
I get half as many migraines as I used to.
All right. Well, we're in a predicament here. I left a beer in the freezer.
You can stop migraine attacks faster and suffer fewer of them starting today. Do not use Cephalidul.
So I don't know. This guy's got to thaw out a little bit. Shaking the beer, that's probably not a good thing to do, right? Well, fuck. I got to wait for that to thaw out a little bit. But for the time being, I got another one. Today's show is sponsored by Corona Extra. Smash the like button. Donate to your boy so I can buy more beer. Please do. Yeah, I don't know if I can really shotgun a beer this way. I mean, this is obviously through glass. Can't really shotgun this beer with the neck on it like this. Ooh, that's cold. Damn, freezer beer. The one thing I am missing, though, is limes. Didn't have a chance to get those. But we did have pizza tonight. Papa Murphy's, they have a special on every Tuesday. So if you're looking for a good deal on pizza, family size or large, Go to your local Papa Murphy's and get yourself a pizza, baby. All right, Mr. Nguyen, my dude. Let's see here. Let's look at some of the other comments here. We had some trolls early on in the room. Always love the trolls. Minshew has been average or better starter since he entered the league in the worst situation. He's nice. I watched him at Washington State. You know, he's very underrated. Very, very underrated as a quarterback. Urban should be fired this season. Also, the situation that he had, you know, at the bar when, you know, he had his lady friend that was grinding on him. And he was like, you know, tickling her under, you know, her skirt or whatever. He's like married. It's like, good move there, Urban. You know what I mean? You're married and you're having some girl like, you know, just right all over your shit, you know, at the bar. And it was videotaped. So he said, relax on my Saints fan. Man, I can't, man. You know what I mean? I got to give it to you guys real. You know what I mean? I got to, and you, let's be honest. There is no Super Bowl. There was never going to be a Super Bowl this year. You know what I mean? That's just fucking delirious talk. You know what I mean? You guys had your chance. You guys had 4 great years where you guys were the leading team in wins in the regular season, but it just shows you how hard it is to win the big game or even get to the big game or even get to the NFC Championship game. It's not fucking easy. It's not easy at all. You know what I mean? I was actually rooting for Jameis, you know, this season for you guys. I thought that, you know, he had a fantastic year. Thought he was a great leader. He obviously got the LASIK and he actually could fucking see who he was throwing to, which is nice because on my team, he couldn't see who he was fucking throwing to. So, and, you know, if he can come back from the injury, it might be someone that you guys could have on the team. And, you know, I like him on your guys' team. I don't like him on my team because I got Brady, but for your guys' team, he was playing very well. He would have led you guys to the playoffs this year. I'm very confident of that. Who is your pick for defense of the year? Defensive player of the year? I mean, I know you're a Cowboys guy. You know, Micah Parsons is fantastic. I mean, we've, you know, TJ Watt. I mean, there's been so many good up and down players. I'm not sure, you know, and then you had with the Cowboys with Diggs. I mean, I'm not really sure. You know, Myles Garrett's been good. I mean, you've had a lot of guys, Aaron Donald. I mean, I'm not sure if there's one single guy, if you're talking about defensive player. If you're talking about defense of the year, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of them. Normally going into the year, you think about the Rams, you think about Tampa Bay. There's certain teams that you kind of think of first. But if we're talking about defense, I mean, you got to go with the Patriots, right? I mean, if we're talking about defense as a team, that's the defense that's probably been the most impressive, you know, from beginning to end at this point. So.
What the hell? Lois, it's an anniversary scavenger hunt. Your first clue is at the Quahog Mini Mart. Love Peter. Oh, how fun.
Well, it's about time.
Sorry, fellas. I'm not going to be able to play. Loretta's mother's in town.
All right, Mr. Nguyen, do you think Baker is a franchise QB? No. Very, very cut, clear, and dry. You know, he was good in college. He could be good in the right system, but you know, he doesn't have it. You know how certain guys have it? He doesn't have it. You know what I mean? If it's like him, Kirk Cousins, you know, Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill, I probably would take every other quarterback that I mentioned before Baker. You know what I mean? If we're talking about middle tier guys that are ranked somewhere between like 11 through 20, Baker is not someone that I feel that is going to get better. You know what I mean? It's like he needs talent to make him better. He doesn't make the other players better like other quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers or Brady, where those guys make the shitty players better and then the good players great. Baker needs, you know, like the other guys there to make him look good. He can't really make them look good, you know, based off his skill set. So no, I do not think Baker is a franchise QB. Is he a backup QB? I don't know if I would go that far yet. I mean, he still is young and has a few more years to prove himself. But I don't know if he is a franchise QB. I would say no. I wouldn't want him on Tampa Bay. And normally I'm a pretty good evaluator of talent. You know what I mean? Like maybe if Baker was on like New England, maybe they could get the most out of him there. But I don't think there's many places that Baker could thrive personally. I mean, he's got a hot wife, but I mean, having a hot wife only can get you so far, right? Calvin Griffin in the building. Roll Tide. Who dat? You dat. What it do? Oh, you're not a troll. No, we had trolls early on in the, you know, in the show, you know. making comments and saying things that if you were a normal person, in the room that obviously that have been, coming to the streams and following the Northwest Sports Fanatics, you already know the answer of these certain comments and questions. So I don't know. I'm just kind of over talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, aren't we over that already? You know what I mean? Like, aren't we already over that? But I guess if you haven't been on the stream in like 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, then maybe it might be like new to you. But I mean, it's not like I haven't put out like thousands of videos, solo or with someone else. So I don't know.
Is that true? Geico's been saving folks money for 85 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Message from a Golden Eagle. Yeah, I do, bro. I want Hurts to show up. I want these young players to experience the postseason early and often. They got a chance, man. They got a chance.
Sea turtles live to be 150, so.
Yeah, good to have you in the building, Alan. I know you've been busy probably with work and whatnot. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the Cowboys do this year. You know what I mean? Like, they've had a pretty good year. They've had some ups and they've had some downs. But I think the league is better when the Cowboys are a good football team, because you're either going to get people that are rooting for them to win and get back to the glory days of Aikman and Irvin and Emmitt Smith and Leon Led and Deion Sanders, prime time, right? Or you're looking for them to lose, because as we know, the two most hated franchises in the NFL to this day are still the Dallas Cowboys, if you're an outsider, or the New England Patriots. You know what I mean? With New England, it was probably just with the cheating and the jealousy of Brady and Belichick winning all those rings. With the Cowboys, I think it's just maybe just the dislike of Jerry Jones and just maybe some of the fan base, because every fan base has douchebag fans. Every fan base does. And there's some douchey fans on Dallas, maybe more on that fan base than maybe some of the others. But I don't have any problems with the Dallas Cowboys. I don't have any problems with the Dallas Cowboy fan base whatsoever. They got players that I really do enjoy watching. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Tony Pollard, Zeke, Dak, Van Der Esch. They got some guys, that I really do enjoy watching. And my favorite is Micah Parsons. And like I said, I knew Micah Parsons, right? I knew Micah Parsons was going to be the guy. He should get Defensive Rookie of the Year. And that is big facts. I see a donation, the first one of the night. So let's scroll down and get caught up. All right. Don't know. Guess who it is? Guess what it is? Bang, 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 bang. Look who it is. Holly Hundo, true to her name. Wasn't expecting to see you streaming tonight, but it's a nice surprise. So I had a long day at work. Had a long day at work today, right? And usually for me to reset and relax, hanging out with the puppy, snugging with her, I ended up watching Rocket Man, the Elton John story. Have you watched that, Holly Hundo? I'm not a huge Elton John fan, but I am a fan of music, whether it be, a little bit of rock, alternative, grunge, country, rap, R&B. I mean, I'm a really wide variety type of guy with the music. And I never watched it. I knew it came out, and it kind of it's like a half kind of musical of him singing the songs, and then it shows him as a young boy and then growing up to be the man that Elton John is. It made me, it makes you cry, to kind of see like how his mom and dad treated him, and then how he had one of his friends pretty much write the lyrics, and he was the one that did the piano and came up with the songs. So the lyrics were already kind of there, but he had to put the kind of the notes together. But it was a really amazing movie. I won't lie. Out of all the movies I've watched, I did not think Rocket Man, the Elton John story, was going to be as great as it was. If you haven't seen it, I do highly recommend to watch it. Elton John is one of those guys that is really inspirational too. He's one of those guys that had that talent at a young age. And I love the way that they put that movie together. I'm not really a fan of musicals, at all. And this is like half kind of story, acting, and then a little bit of the songs and having him perform. Pretty fucking cool. Like, I didn't really know his whole story, and I was pretty surprised on how good it was. And that's big facts. Holly Hundo always coming through. Appreciate you very, very much. Let me just go back up, because I know I've been trying to go through all the comments here. And like I said, Simpsons was on. Now it's Family Guy. Obviously, I had NFL Network going on as well. And like I said, I just wanted to take a little bit of time, to do, hey, I drink beer. You ask NFL questions. I wasn't really planning on doing it. But then after watching, Rocket Man, I got a little inspired. I was like, you know what? I need to grind. You know what I mean? What would Elton John do? He would grind. So I was like, you know what? Let's grind. If I get a donation or two, great. If I don't, if I get views, if I don't, I just like, hanging out with the fans and donating. And, lo and behold, I can always count on someone to make my day, just like you make my day, Grossi's day, and the rest of the people in the room's day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Holly Hundo, always coming in the clutch. Great to see you. Let me actually go through here and try to catch up. Let's see here. Yeah, we had some trolls early in the room, so it's glad to have you in the room, Holly Hundo. Yeah, I'm always trying to, grind out as much as I can. So let's see here. And I'll get to everyone's comments and I'll get caught up to like the live conversations. But you know how I do the streams. I don't like to leave any questions behind. I don't like to leave people behind. Everyone's comment is important to me. Like I said, regardless if you donate or you don't. So I'm going to get through those and then I'll be able to have kind of a current conversation in the stream. Mr. Nguyen, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I hope you and your family are doing great. Happy holidays. Great to see you. Do you think Russell Wilson's going to the Saints next season? No. I think that if he is going to go somewhere, I would say the number one destination for him would be the New York Football Giants. You have to remember who he's married to, Sierra. They want to be in a big market for her music career and for him personally. They're taking care of Future's kid. If you didn't really know that already, your boy knows all the hip hop. I know what's going on in the social media and the hip hop game as well. All right. But Russell and Pete Carroll both might not be in Seattle. They both probably need to go. I don't know what kind of compensation you're going to get for Dangerous, but I could see Dangerous going to the Bears. I could see him going to a team like Denver. But the team that really, the Saints could be a possibility. Definitely, because, you guys got a lot of great pieces there. AK-41, great offensive line led by Ryan Ramczyk, great defense. Cameron Jordan, Lattimore, right? My favorite, Demario Davis, a.k.a. the glue. But I just don't see Russell Wilson, in New Orleans. I don't really know if that's the fit. Now, if he goes there, could you guys get to an NFC championship game? Abso-fucking-lutely. But if you've seen Russell Wilson play in the last few weeks, it's almost kind of like Patrick Mahomes, where it's like they're having to like relearn their skill set again, except that Patrick Mahomes didn't really get hurt like Russell Wilson did. But Russell doesn't really seem like the same top three quarterback that we're used to watching. Same thing with Mahomes, but Mahomes is getting there closer and closer. But I do think Russell Wilson, if I had to take one destination, I think the New York Football Giants has got to be the spot, because not only is it New York, all right, I think they have a decent team that Russell can build around, and then he could get that team to an NFC East crown, which isn't saying a whole lot, but that's when I see Russell Wilson and I see him in a jersey, the first spot for my ESP and I talk shit into existence is the New York Football Giants. Danny Dimes is not the guy, all right? So if next, couple months, as we're going into next season, breaking news, the New York Football Giants signed Russell Wilson, you'd be like, damn, Orion said that shit in fucking December of 2021. So maybe the ESP will come true. But no, I don't see him going to the Saints. I do not. Let's see here. Elliot Evans in the building. What's good? What's good, my dude? Gang. Paula. Hey, fam. Hey, Orion. Hey, trolleys. What to do? Northwest in the building. Paula, how are you? Hopefully you are having a great day. I'm always thinking about you too, Paula. You know what I mean? I know you've been going through the ups and the downs. Great to have you in the room. And like I said, you let me know, down the road in the next, few months, if you're ready for a present, and Orion will hook you up with that present, because you definitely need one. You've been a great supporter to the channel. And like I said, anyone that can find me through, Grossi, through the raid, or through any other friends or streams that you've come in and, found out who the Northwest Sports Fanatics is, and still stick around and participate and hang out. I really do appreciate you. Paula, one of my favorites in the building. What to do? Let's see here. Scrolling down. See Paula talking to Sarah. Jameson Meza in the building. Message from a Golden Eagle. Luke Birch, you going to watch the USFL? USFL. What about the Rocks League? Are we going to watch that? I mean, during the off season? The XFL? You know what I mean? I know they're looking for announcers. Maybe I need to reach out to my brother, The Rock. We're born on the same day. We're both Brahma Bulls. May 2nd, 1972. May 2nd, 1982. His work ethic might be a little bit stronger than mine, but, I look up to him. I follow him, and there's no lie or no joke. If you are a Taurus, You know what I mean? They say Tauruses are bullheaded, but one thing that I think that people do realize, if you are a Taurus and you follow, the astrological signs, Tauruses are fucking really hard workers, and that's facts. I mean, if you know The Rock or know anyone else that is a Taurus, that's one thing that's undeniable. We are hard fucking workers. I'm not sure about USFL. I don't know if you were talking about XFL, but I definitely will be watching a little XFL. Do you like that? I figured there'd be a couple people that would like that. I tried to find a Homer Simpson Duff beer. I tried to find like a nice thumbnail and something different. Because I always have like the sports things, and I will still talk sports. But at the time I was watching Simpsons, I was in a good mood, and I'm versatile. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So let's see here. Don't you think the Panthers should build up their terrible O-line before going after a quarterback with guys like Linderbaum or Charles? Yeah, of course, Blake, you guys have a lot of work to do. You need to get a better running back than Run CMC, because when he's healthy, he's the best running back in the league. But when is he healthy? He's never healthy. He's never healthy. So I just don't know what you're going to be able to get out of him. Chiefs Chargers on Thursday Night Football. Your boy will be in the building calling that. But yeah, they need O-line. Remember when they had Jordan Gross? Remember when they had an O-line back in the day? You're going to need a lot more. I like the wide receivers. I like when those guys are healthy, but offensive line needs work. Quarterback needs work. Defense needs work. And we didn't even get to see J.C. Horn. What a shame, right? Because I think he would have been just as good as Patrick Surtain for the Denver Broncos this season. Maybe even better. We don't really know, but when one injury happens, it leads to another. And the sad thing about Run CMC, Dalvin Cook, and a lot of these guys that are projected at number 1, number 2 in fantasy, I think as we go into next year, it'll be like Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Alvin Kamara. Maybe Dalvin Cook and Run CMC won't be picked, because they pick them first and second based off the PPR, points per reception, and getting those extra points in the receiving game. But if they can only stay on the field for 9 games a year, what is that going to do? I can't win a fantasy football championship with Dalvin Cook or with Run CMC. Luckily, Zini Panini got first, last season, and she got the first pick in the draft, and she got Run CMC, and she had a big, big struggle for a good chunk of the season, but found her way into the playoffs. So it's now me, Zini Panini, Memopolis, and then BMO. So we'll have to see if I end up getting the chip this year. But yeah, they had a lot of things that they need to figure out. And they already got rid of Brady, the OC, and that's big facts. So we'll see on where it goes. You like spirits or just beer? I'll smoke, I'll drink, I'll do a little bit of both. Cowboys winning the chip this year. Bobby, no. I think they have a good football team, the best football team they've had in a long time. But, really where the pecking order goes, Packers, Bucks, right? Rams, Cardinals, Cowboys. Can the Cowboys overachieve and end up beating one of those other 4 teams? Yeah. Could they get to the NFC Championship game? Yes, they can, right? Defense has been good. Dan Quinn has been an amazing addition to D coordinator. Diggs has been great. Micah Parsons has been fantastic. I'm a linebacker guy and a defensive guy. He's my favorite rookie on defense, hands down, besides Patrick Surtain, and then probably J.C. Horn if he was healthy. But Micah Parsons has a chance to get in that same category as Fred Warner, right? Bobby Wagner, Darius Leonard, and Devin White. That's saying a lot. Like Micah Parsons could be a top 6, top 5, linebacker, like now, like immediately. He's that fucking good. But I don't think that they're winning the chip this year. If you guys even got to the NFC Championship game, I think a lot of people would be shocked. You know what I mean? Like, to win a playoff game should be at least the initial goal. Can you win a playoff game against maybe the Rams, the Cardinals, the Bucks, or the Packers? I don't know. I'm not sure if you can beat any of those 4 teams. But what I will give you, Bobby, week 1, when the Cowboys played Tampa, and I've been a Tampa fan since 95, so I'm not a bandwagon Brady guy, okay? Cowboys deserved to win week 1. I did not deserve to win that game. That's facts. I always get the Cowboy pizza, $12 Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, or you get a family size for $15. I usually get the Cowboy pizza as well. Paula, we're on the same wavelength. I love the Cowboy pizza. That's my favorite. That's facts. All right, now I'm caught up. Bang, 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 bang. There we go. Holly Hundo. Wasn't expecting to see you streaming tonight, but it's a nice surprise. Sorry it took so long for me to get caught up. And then all the great love that you end up getting. Holly Hundo from Luke Birch. Obviously, I love seeing you guys in the building. Sarah Small, Holly Hundo, bang, 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 in the building. YouTube GM. He's like, whoa. Yeah. When the fans appreciate you and you appreciate them, right? This is what you get in return, right? That's what you get there in return. The love, the appreciation, the hard work. All right. YouTube GM's like, wow, maybe I should donate one day. Maybe you should. Maybe you should. He said, thank you. See? And the thing is like, I never know what's going to happen from stream to stream, day to day. But like I said, when you end up streaming, working hard, putting a lot of effort and time and energy, and I already got a full-time job, you know what I mean? So anytime that I stream, I really push myself. There's a lot of times where I'm fucking dead tired. I have nothing in the tank, like zero. But if I didn't tell you that with the energy that I bring on every stream, you never would know, you know what I mean, that I'm dead tired and I have nothing to give. But I give 150% on every stream because that's just who I am. You know what I mean? And obviously people can see that. And I do take this very seriously, and I like to have fun, and I love the fans. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. I love you, and I appreciate you very, very much. Jamal, haven't seen you in the building. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel. With the Chiefs trending upward, do you see a rematch of last year's Super Bowl? I do. I really do. I think it's very possible. I know the Rams fans say fuck no. Cowboys say fuck no. Tom Grossi and the Packers fan and Luke Burt say, hell no, the Packers are going, right? I think the most entertaining matchup would probably be Packers-Chiefs. As an NFL fan, I love all 32 teams. I'm not biased. I know when Tampa's good and when Tampa's bad. All right. I did win the Super Bowl last year, but I'll be honest. In Super Bowl 37 in 2002 with Brooks, Warren Sapp, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Mike Allstott, Keenan McCardell, Joe Juravicious, Keyshawn Johnson, Brad Johnson, John Gruden, Monty Kiffin. I didn't think that I was going to win a Super Bowl ever again. So just the fact that Brady and Gronk and AB, and then I ended up drafting Tristan Wirfs and Antoine Winfield Jr., that was just like I just didn't think that was going to happen. But I think the Chiefs are trending upward. The defense is playing great. Creed Humphrey is the best center in football as a rookie. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has stopped the fumbling problem that he had. Now we're really going to see how good they are. Thursday night, short week. We got Chiefs, and we got my boy, Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Now, if you win that game, that gives you more confidence and more momentum. I know New England's defense is the best in the AFC, right? But if it comes to the playoffs, I still think the Chiefs can beat the Patriots. As great as the Patriots are, I still think the Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC. And if it's not the Chiefs and they get knocked off, I got to go with New England. Those are the two best teams in the AFC. On the NFC side, we got Packers, we got Bucks, we got Rams, we got Cardinals, we got Cowboys. And my favorites, by far, are the Packers and the Bucks. The next tier below them is Rams, Cardinals, Cowboys. But I think Packers, Bucks, New England Patriots, Chiefs, those are, to me, the four best teams in football right now today. You know what I mean? The Rams are like, hey, what about me? We beat the Cardinals. Right, and that is a big win. But I think if you look at the Packers and the Bucks overall and New England and the Chiefs, I think those four teams have proven, at least as of right now, that those are the four best teams today in football. Even though New England started off slow, even though Kansas City hit a wall, even though Tampa Bay had some injuries, right? Packers have had some, injuries as well, but we got to give love and appreciation to those teams. And if we ended up getting a Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl rematch and we won again, would I be thrilled? Absolutely. But if we lost, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't say conspiracy. I would actually be genuinely happy for the Chiefs kingdom because obviously with the way that this season has gone, what a better way to be able to cap off the year and beating Tom Brady, beating Orion, beating the Northwest Sports Fanatics after getting your ass beat last year and not even throwing a touchdown pass. You know what I mean? The defense wins championships, and the Chiefs defense is starting to get hot at the right time. And one of my favorite players in the entire league is Tyron Matthew. It seems like to me, every time I hear someone on the internet say he's washed, he can't do it anymore, he's too old, I'm starting to think that Honey Badger might be the best safety in football. Yeah, I know there's a lot of guys that are younger. Yeah, I know there's a lot of guys out there that might have maybe more fumble recoveries or more punch outs or more picks, but I don't know if there is. If you really look at the game-changing plays that Honey Badger makes game in and game out, he's always around the football. He is the heart and soul. Some people think it's Chris Jones, Chris Jones, or Frank Clark. No, it's not. Honey Badger has just as much of an impact as Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, or Bieniemy or Spags in that locker room. And to me, I think with his vocal, just his vocal prowess and just his leadership and his swag, I think he might be, just on that same level as Mahomes. Like when they look up to Mahomes, I think they look up to Honey Badger the same way. And if they don't, they fucking should. I would still take Honey Badger on my team in a heartbeat. He is always making plays. Good night, my dude. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the playoffs, my dude. Rocket Man. Man, it was a good movie. Let me tell you, man. I don't get teared up, and I don't really enjoy a lot of movies, but I'm telling you, man, if you want to see a good movie, you know what I mean? Watch Rocket Man. It's the Elton John story. It's kind of a tearjerker. You see like how his parents treated him, obviously him, being gay and, him not really being comfortable in his own skin, and, his dad not really caring about him, and mom not really caring about him. And it was sad too, because it even got to a point where they could have been gold diggers and went for his money. And they didn't even really do that. You know what I mean? It's just like, he didn't really get to feel love. And that kind of tugged at the heartstrings a little bit, you know what I mean? Because everyone, no matter what race, if you're gay, you're straight, you're bisexual, no matter what race you are, everyone deserves to feel loved. And I mean, the talent that this kid had, Elton John, and if you actually watch the movie, Elton John's not even his real fucking name, right? A lot of people were like, okay, 2 first names, okay, Elton John. That's not even his real name. He changed his name to Elton John. So you always learn something new, when you end up watching some of these movies. And like I said, it was one of the better movies that I've seen in the last couple years. That's big facts. Let's see here. Elliot Evans, how you feeling, my dude? You feeling a little bit better? Yeah. I got you, Paula. I got you. Why has Patrick Mahomes transformed into Brett Favre this year? Like I already told you, YouTube GM, everyone is just talking so much shit about Patrick Mahomes, just because he's not throwing up 60 touchdown passes and 8 picks. You know what I mean? If your offensive line isn't gelling as quick as people want, or your running game is non-existent or not really there, and the defense is struggling, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you have Travis Kelce, Tyreek the Freak Hill, and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, didn't we learn anything from the Super Bowl? You had the number 1 quarterback, the number 1 tight end, and arguably the number 1 wide receiver not named Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins, and you didn't get a touchdown pass in the game. So, I mean, is that, that's not something that's really normal, right? But it happened. So, and I wouldn't say that he's Brett Favre. Brett Favre is a gunslinger, right? And he, had probably just as strong arm as Mahomes, because we know Mahomes and Josh Allen had strong arms. Favre's arm was insane, but Favre was on painkillers. He was just high all the time out there. But I'm not sure if that's a fair comparison there, because I still think Patrick Mahomes could still win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, a lot of people are still, not sold on Kansas City. A lot of people are giving up on the Chiefs, but I'm not. I never did. I even told Holly Hundo I'm going to give her a little bit of good juju, a little bit of good luck. Things are going to turn around. And guess what? It took a few weeks, but it did. It's starting to turn around, and they're starting to get hot at the right time. And that's facts. Bang! $2 Sarah Small adding to the party from Holly Hundo. Why not? You're amazing, Orion. Love you. Colts need a wide receiver number 2. Yes, you do. But you're not getting Godwin from me. You're not getting Godwin from me. Stone Cold Jones and Josh Gordon on the COVID list. That's not what I want to hear. So Chris Jones is not playing on Thursday night. That's going to be tough. That's already going to be a tough game as it is, because we know the Chargers play the Chiefs very well. Herbert's going to play good in that game. So I don't really know what we're going to get. Maybe we're going to get a lot more running the football in that game instead of a lot of throwing, a lot of defense, special teams. I'm not sure if Mahomes is going to go for 3 touchdown passes or more. If I had to bet, I would assume that he would probably go for less than 3 touchdown passes. Maybe he'll run one in. I don't know, but it's going to be very, very interesting as we see the NFC playoff picture as I'm on NFL Network. Packers 10-3, Bucks 10-3, Cardinals 10-3, Cowboys 9-4. It's gonna be fucking wild, man. It's gonna be crazy. I watched Rocket Man years ago. Would love to rewatch. Yeah, I think it came out in 2019, 2018. Yeah, we had it on the DVR, and I was like, you know what? Let's watch it. Let's watch it. And like I said, I don't have too many movies that make me cry, and I cried like twice in that movie. Like, I'm a guy. Guys are supposed to be strong, right? We're never supposed to cry or whatever. But I'll tell you what, if it's something related to sports or cancer or, a comeback story or, someone, persevering through struggles, having a dream, that shit touches my heart because, I'm a grinder. I have dreams. I work hard. You know what I mean? I'm nowhere near, getting to the point of hitting my goals. But whenever I hear people going through those hard times and then they end up, having that success, or it's just one of those, tear string, emotional stories. I love that stuff. And, sometimes a good cry is good. You know what I mean? Like, it's good if you have like anxiety or depression. Sometimes a good cry, whether you're a guy or a girl, like, it makes you feel better. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, I know with me, I don't usually cry that often. Usually if it's like a movie or a TV show, something, touching that, hits the soul, you know what I mean? But sometimes, having that moment where you can just reflect on yourself and, just have a cry, about whatever it is, a loss in the family, a loss in a pet, or, just whatever it is, something emotional that you overcame. And, I know anytime that I end up, feeling that way after I'm done, I end up feeling much, much better. And I think a lot of times people hold and bottle a lot of stuff in. Like there's this guy at work, Brandon, that I work with. He's going through a hard time. And I went up to him, last week, and I told him, hey, you can call me. You can text me. We can go for a beer. He's having a hard time right now with his ex-girlfriend who he's got kids with, who's moving on. And I think he's like hanging out with another guy. So it's like when he shows up to like see the kids, it's still kind of fresh in the breakup. And he's like, how do I, like go to the house and see this other guy playing with my kids? I mean, like, dude, that's not easy. You know what I mean? If anyone that's been in a relationship or, had a tough time, dealing with breakups or being able to go through that's a tough situation. And he comes up to me now almost every day. And I told him, like if I wasn't doing the YouTube thing, I probably would be trying to get some kind of degree to be a psychologist, because a lot of people do open up to me and I do listen. And I told him, I was like flat out, I was like, it takes a lot of courage, and a lot of strength to be able to tell me what you told me. You obviously trust me enough to tell me your problems. And obviously I listen, I give eye contact. I don't tell him what to do. You know what I mean? And I told him it meant a lot to me for him to be able to, express himself in that way, because a lot of people, you can have a best friend, a drinking buddy, a sister, a brother, a homie, and you still won't open up to that person. Sometimes it takes that right person to be able to open up to. But when you do open up to someone, instead of bottling it in, and I try to give him some, pointers, like I told him how I watch Simpsons every day. I take that me time, you know what I mean? It's like, I got the puppy, I go for a walk, or just like, snug and watch a TV show. Like, you got to be able to find little wins in the day to be able to mentally get through the day, especially if you're thinking about how bad things are. And I told them things are going to get better in time, and things are never as good as they seem, and they're never as bad as they seem. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. So I told him if he needs me, you know what I mean? And normally I don't do this for just anybody, but I could just tell that this guy has nobody to talk to. He doesn't have a whole lot of friends. You know what I mean? He seems like he's very alone. And I don't like seeing people struggle. So when I can kind of, get a feeling and a gauge when someone needs somebody, I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? That's like almost like I feel like, I know it kind of sounds corny, but like, sometimes you feel like someone's like a guardian angel, like you were put on this earth for a particular reason. I kind of feel that way, for me to be able to help people, listen to people, be there. Because a lot of people don't check up on people. A lot of people don't ask people like, what their problems are or what's going on. And I know that I made a difference in this guy's life. And I'm hoping that, he'll end up calling me here in the next couple of weeks. And, maybe we can go for a beer, or maybe just go to like Red Robin's and get a burger and just talk, And sometimes, guys especially, it's one of those things, it's not normal. You know what I mean? Most guys are private. They want to keep shit bottled in. They don't want to talk about it, let alone to another guy if they feel weak or hurt, or they're, you know what I mean? Because, you get another guy response like, toughen up, don't be a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, that's the response that he's been getting. And I told him, that's not the response that you need. You need someone that can actually relate. And I told him, like with the depression and shit that I've gone through, I had a point where I didn't even get out of bed for almost 3 weeks. And I lost my job that I had earlier in the year just because I was just so mentally distraught, you know what I mean? But now I feel like I've turned the page and I've turned the corner. And I normally wouldn't share that kind of information just to anyone, let alone you guys on YouTube. But it shows you like I'm real, you know what I mean? I don't have anything to hide, but it made me feel really good to be able to talk to him. And it seems like it's starting to kind of, and I told him it's not going to be better in a day. It's not going to be better in a week. It's not going to be better in a couple months, but you just got to take it step by step, take baby steps, and just try to find the wins in each day. And I think it really clicked with him. You know what I mean? I know that, he's set in his ways, and I don't think he really has any hobbies either. So I was hoping that maybe, that I could bring up something where he'd be like, oh, I do this, as a hobby. And I haven't really found any hobbies yet, but maybe there's something that I can find for him to get his mind off of the breakup and the kids and maybe this new guy that his, ex-girlfriend is dating. Because it seems like she's moving on and he's not over her yet. And it seems like they might not get back together, but even though he wants to, and he's kind of in this like depression mode right now. So, I mean, I can relate. I've been there too. So, that's just a story of the day, and in the life of me when I'm working at the warehouse. I always try to make time for every single person, that's out there. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you're willing to talk to me, I'm going to listen, and I'm going to obviously appreciate whatever you're telling me. And I'm going to tell you that too. And I know when I told him that, his eyes kind of got big. I was like, I do appreciate you, having the courage and, telling me this personal information, because it did mean a lot to me. And I know a lot of people don't say that type of thing, but it made me feel great, that I maybe made a little bit of a difference for him. So that's big facts. All right, let me scroll down here. Luke Birch. So I'll probably watch the USFL over the XFL. Let me see here. Going through the comments. Michaela in the building. Yeah, I'm supposed to be, the stream is supposed to be, I drink beer, you ask questions. But, sometimes I get distracted. So let's see here. Elliot Evans. Amelia. My boy, what a deal. Okay, Michael is having a beer as well. Awesome. I appreciate that. Let's see here. See? Pavon Vega. Yo, what it do, G? If someone already asked, then my bad. Oh, never apologize, man. But do you have a favorite pastime memory of football from yesterwhen? I love the wording on this. See Pavon Vega in the building. Yeah, I think some of my greatest memories that I have, if we're talking about football, it's Monday Night Football with Al Michaels, Dan Deerdorf, just way back in the day. And I remember watching the Bengals and the 49ers, and this might have been like 85, 86, and then obviously going into the early 90s. But I remember, watching Monday Night Football and watching Boomer Esiason, Joe Montana, and just having those memories, watching Bo Jackson. And like I said, I'm an old guy, I'm an OG, triple OG, even though I might not look it. I am 39. A lot of people don't believe it, that I am 39. Yes, I am 39. Obviously, I got my mom's Japanese good skin, since I'm half Japanese, half Czech. But yeah, those are kind of the memories that I remembering, like those old school Super Bowls, the Niners Super Bowls in the 80s. I remember those. I remember the Giants with Phil Simms getting hurt and Jeff Hostetler. I remember the Skins, the Washington Redskins, obviously with Mark Rippon in 91. I remember the Dallas Cowboys in 92 and obviously in 93 and 95. The Niners in 94 with Steve Young and prime time. I mean, I've got a lot of memories. I'm not sure if I just got one specific one, but I really remember my earliest as Monday Night Football, watching Bengals, Niners, and a bunch of teams, and just remembering like having my wrestling ring with my wrestling figures and starting lineups and just watching the TV or the VHS, with tapes. Because I didn't have cable growing up. So I would have a VHS and then I would like tell people to record, Monday Night Football or Monday Night Raw or like certain shows for me. So that way, or WCW Nitro when like NWO was big, like in the, mid to late 90s. That way I could like still keep in touch and, with everything that was going on. Those are really, really good memories for me. You brought me back right there. That's big facts. So you might get that Cowboy pizza for $12, but I get them all for free, baby. Yeah, you do. Well, I seen what you and your friends do that work there. I seen that. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Love you guys and appreciate you guys very much. Skinner in the building. Good evening. How's Orion tonight? I'm doing well. How are you? Hopefully you're doing a fantastic. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Facts. Jamal says, been a Chiefs fan since 95. My first jersey was a James Hasty, number 40. Marty Ball. Dude, that's awesome. I've been watching since 85. I've been a Bucks fan since 95. So we do have something in common there. When I had Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks get drafted in 95, John Lynch was already there. I was like, this is a team that I can connect with. I'm in Oregon. So I could be a Seahawk fan. I could have been a Raiders fan, Raiders. I could have been a Charger fan in San Diego. I could have been a Niner fan. And honestly, the Niners were my favorite team as a kid. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Tom Rathman, Brent Jones. You know what I mean? I like that team. John Taylor, Merton Hanks. All right, Dion, prime time. But I just knew in 94 when they won, I was like, I was 12 years old. I was like, if I commit to the Niners, they may never win again. I had a strong feeling, and I'm more of a defensive guy. I'm a linebacker guy and an offensive line guy, which is rare on YouTube because most people are quarterback guys, wide receiver guys, running back guys, and they're not usually defense first. Most of the jerseys that I have in the closet are defensive jerseys, which is rare as it is. Most people have quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, or tight ends, and I'm kind of the opposite. But, dude, that's awesome. Just to hear the name James Hasty. Big ups to you, Jamal. Seriously, you gained a lot of credibility in my book right there. That's awesome, dude. He said, Bam Bam Bigelow is my spirit animal. All right, Honey Badger, hands down, leads our defense. Just wish Eric Berry didn't have to get injured and retire. Because imagine him and Honey Badger back there reminds me of Earl and Cam in the lob. Legion of Boom, facts. Luke Birch, $5, full 49, divisional round, 34-21 over the Niners. NFC Championship game, 28-24 over the Bucks. Super Bowl, 38-35 over the Chiefs. Very confident in those scores. Very, very confident in those scores. And obviously this is Luke being a Packers fan. So he says the Packers are going to win 34-21 over the Niners. They're going to win 28-24 over the Bucks, my team, and 38-35 in OT over the Chiefs. I don't know if there's going to be OT in the Super Bowl, my dude. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to happen. YouTube GM, no problem, man. He said, I would do something very big. I believe you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. You know what I mean? Some people, you'll get trolls in the building, you know what I mean? That just, they're not a part of this channel. And like, you'll get a comment like this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You're not a part of the Northwest Sports Fanatics. You're not a part of the Fanatic family. You know what I mean? So anytime you get like a troll saying something like this, it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me one bit. This is what matters, because that you do care about people, whether it be me or anybody else in the room. That's what it's about. It's about really caring about other people. And like I said, on the stream, we talk NFL, we talk life, we talk a little bit of everything. But it did make me feel really good to try to make Brandon's night. That's facts. He said, I feel that, Orion. When me and my ex broke up, I was depressed for months and I was missing school and stuff. I found the right people to talk to, and it slowly got better. It does get better over time. It does. You know what I mean? It's like, especially if you've been like cheated on, or if you break up, especially when you have like that bond. And sometimes it's like, you're just like, it's never going to get better. And then you can have like rebound and like with another girl, or if you're a guy, you have another girl, or girl, you have another guy, and you have like the rebound thing, the fling thing. But a lot of times that's not really the answer. Sometimes you got to be mentally right before you get into the next, relationship or the dating scene. And, that's very true. But hey, you know what I mean? That's what we're here for. We're the Fanatic family. If you have problems, you have issues, we talk about it. And that's what I think makes me a little bit more versatile than the average YouTuber. You know what I mean? Just with everything that I've gone through in my life, the struggles, the ups and the downs. Of course, I know football. Of course, I know wrestling. Of course, I know sports. But I think I'm more, proud of the man that I am, and, being able to give back and be there for people, because that's really what you need. Because a lot of people are selfish out there. A lot of people are one-track minded. They have tunnel vision. And, just knowing that you have people in your corner, really means a lot. And obviously you started to get to the right people and it got better. So I'm happy to hear that, my dude. Jameson Meza, bang, $5. Love for all this great hangout and fun NFL chat. Absolutely, man. I'll talk a little bit about everything, but like I said, I feel that with the channel, even though people know me for the NFL and the wrestling, this will go far above and beyond. Now, some people can't handle, if we talk about life or movies or TV or what the next great Marvel movie is going to be, or the next Star Wars, show that's going to be on Disney Plus. Some people can't handle that. But, if you're a well-rounded person, you want to be a little bit well-rounded in a little bit of everything. It's not just about football for me. There's a lot more than football for me, Orion. You know what I mean? That's big facts. Elliot Evans says, Orion is the definition of a real one. Facts. I appreciate that very, very much. Well, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. I've been online now for about an hour and 43 minutes. I was only planning on going on for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. You know what I mean? But like I said, you know how time flies when you're just having fun and you're answering questions. We had trolls early in the stream, asking, hey, where's your partner? Obviously, and trying to stir up the pot. I don't like talking about that shit anymore. And obviously, if you're bringing that up, Obviously, you haven't been on the channel for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. That's fine. Or you do know what's going on and you're just trying to get a reaction out of me. You know what I mean? But that's not what it's about. We can forget about that. We have a good time here. We care about each other. We're the Fanatic family. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. Sarah Small, exactly right here. Hey, we are family. Regardless of everyone's back. Break up 10 months ago. We're going to move in, but I'm glad we broke up. I knew he wasn't the right guy for me, but it took a while. Yeah, it does take a while. You know what I mean? To be able to find that person that's right for you. Sometimes, it's like one of those things where you don't want to be lonely, but it's better to be alone and happy or a little sad just because you're going to be maybe just a little alone rather than being with someone and being fucking miserable. Of course, it's nice to have that person next to you in bed where you can like snug or watch movies, TV, and then you can, do things, right? But if you're not in a good place mentally and you guys are yelling at each other or it's just not a good, relationship, sometimes it's better to be alone than be with someone that makes you feel like shit, and that's facts. I mean, I think everyone has gone through good relationships and bad relationships. And just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean it's going to be long-term or they are the one. You know what I mean? There's billions of people out there in the world. Some people think there's only one person for you. I disagree. I think there's, definitely more than one person for each person that's out there, but you just got to be patient and not really look for it. If it's meant to happen, it'll come to you. And that's big facts. Jameson Meza. Gang, gang, gang. Paula. Love you, Orion, my guy. Thank you for the smiles and laughs tonight. Of course. I should have drank more beer tonight. So my beer that I had in the freezer looks like it should have, it looks like it's starting to kind of thaw out a little bit. Let's give a special shout out to Jameson Meza, $5. Luke Birch, $4.49. Sarah Small, $2. And look at Holly Hundo. Look at this. Look at this. You never know what you're going to get from Holly Hundo. Always showing the love, always showing the great donos, and always having great things to talk about in the chat. Chiefs Kingdom in the building. Colts in the building with my girl, Sarah Small. And like I said, every comment matters, every donation matters, every share matters. And obviously I like to, showcase the people that go above and beyond. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. A Millie. Luke Birch, love you too, man. You guys are the best fans on planet Earth. Like I said, have a great rest of your night. I just try to do something a little bit different, with the backgrounds and whatnot. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'll just keep it strictly NFL or wrestling. You know what? But I felt like in a good mood today. I just wanted to be able to touch on a few other things. I always watch Simpsons. So I was like, you know what? I just got done watching, obviously Rocket Man. So I got inspired a little bit, and I wanted to be able to hang out with y'all. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Special shout out to Jameson Meza doing his thing. Elliot Evans, you're my boy forever. Luke Birch, always doing his thing. He came over from the Grossi Posse, just like Holly Hundo. Shout out to Sarah Small, one of the lead mods of the channel, just like this woman right here that I love and respect, Holly Hundo. Always showing the love and always showing the respect. Love you and I appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your night. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't necessarily know what I am going to do tomorrow. Maybe some reaction videos. Maybe I drink beer and, you ask NFL questions again. We'll see. I'll have maybe some kind of live stream or maybe some reaction videos. And then Thursday night, I'll be here. All right. We got the Chiefs and we got the Chargers. I am really excited about that matchup. Big game for both teams. And then we even got games on the weekend as well. So I'm going to be busy. We got the Colts and the Patriots. That should be lit. Patriots and Colts. Oh, and they have it on the screen right now, too. If the Colts win that game, man, oh, man, can you imagine? Raiders, Browns. I'm not sure how good that game will be, but Patriots, Colts will be lit. I definitely will do the Patriots, Colts. Maybe so 50-50 on that Browns, Raiders. Maybe I'll do that game. Maybe I won't. I don't really know. Deacon Baker, Elliot Evans, Jameson Meza, Sarah Small, all y'all, Luke Birch, Paula, Holly Hundo, all y'all. Love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your night. I'm going to go hang out with my dog, maybe eat a piece of pizza, relax. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for hanging out with your boy. And I will be back very, very soon. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. I love you. Appreciate you. Night, fam. And I'm out. Peace. Gang.